Hello everyone and welcome back to LitGenie, where we do literature with intrigue, insight and a little bit of magic. Well, without any further ado, let's just continue from where we had left off in our last discussion, where we were discussing selflessness versus individualism. Today, the aspect of the Bhagavad Gita that we'll be discussing has been one of the most intriguing questions that has forever been asked to this text, which is, who is God? Where is He? What exactly is spiritual consciousness? Well, thinking of the Bhagavad Gita, what it does is, it actually chooses to transform this question, the question of who is God, where is He? What it does is, it turns this question into a spiritual journey, where it tries to reveal God, and I'm taking it slow from here, think of it, pay a year and try to understand. The Gita tries to turn our questions to the existence of God into a spiritual journey, trying to reveal God both as an immanent self with the transcendent cosmic presence guiding all existence. So it is an unavoidable presence somewhere there, some sort of a cosmic energy. And at the same time, it is also that transcendental presence which is guiding all existences which are part of the universe, right? Well, it might seem to be a little bit of a thick concept, but if we delve deeper into it, we will sort of get a hang of what exactly this idea is all about. Now think of it from this perspective. Forever we have been asking this question, who exactly is God, and how is He impacting our lives? Is He at all impacting our lives? If so, why, how, in what capacity, and how much of His control actually determines the path, or how much control do we ourselves have on the course of our lives? Now, the concept of dharma and the concept of God are almost like the flip side of the same coin as far as the Bhagavad Gita is concerned, because Gita says you locate God in an act of spiritual realization, or to put it in even simpler words, you locate God through an act of self/spiritual realization. Think of it. The pursuit of trying to know who you are is actually, in fact, the pursuit that finally leads you to the answer of who exactly God is. Isn't that an interesting proposition? Think of it. Krishna's assertion of divine immanence and transcendence aligns with both pantheistic and monotheistic traditions. I hope you people understand what's monotheism and what pantheism is. I'm not getting into the details of it. In case you don't worry, I'm going to leave details of it in the description box below in case you want to take a look at it. Well, so Krishna's assertion of divine immanence and transcendence aligns deeply with both the pantheistic and monotheistic traditions, but it may be problematic for the secular humanists and atheists that are part of our society today. Think of it, modern philosophy, which is deeply influenced by, and Nietzsche is coming back in our discussion. So modern philosophy, which is influenced by Nietzsche's critique of the metaphysical absolute, might challenge the necessity of surrender to a divine will. What do? Do we really give up? Are we really puppets in His hand? Are there threads holding us up from our neck up and somebody else is moving us around? What is it? The Gita's approach to this sort of concept is that self-knowledge, or all this while we have been talking about karma yoga. Now we are moving to a next step, which is jnana yoga. Jnana, the greatest form of knowledge, which is the greatest form of knowledge we can achieve in this lifetime? To know who we are. Do we really know who we are? What we want? How we will react in a given situation? We always think we are polite, balanced, kind, sensitive, until there's a situation which comes ahead and challenges our sense of self our sense of satisfaction, our sense of right and wrong, our sense of judgment. Question is, then, what is the greatest pursuit of knowledge that we can have in this lifetime? It is to try and understand nothing else but who we really are. Do I know who I am? Can I always guarantee what I'm going to do in situations that challenge me in various ways? Can I really guarantee that in this lifetime I'm never going to do anything which challenges or compromises the belief systems or the principles with which I have been growing up? Do we? Maybe not. Because that is the hardest thing to determine. To know entirely who you are, and then from that knowledge have an entire understanding of how that controls how you conduct yourself as a person amidst the society. So the Gita says one of the greatest pursuits of knowledge is essentially Jnana Yoga. And Gita's approach to self-knowledge can be appreciated in a secular framework as it parallels existentialist self-inquiry and the very common practice in the Buddhist tradition, which is mindfulness in practices. When you do something, whatever it is, are you mindful about what you're doing? Think of it. If we really are mindful about what we are doing in every second when we are doing it, probably we wouldn't be doing a lot of things which we otherwise so easily do. I mean, in that moment, when think of random situations in your life, in that moment, when you're choosing to break the trust of your friend, in that very moment, if for one fraction of a second you're reminded, what am I doing? Who am I? Do you think if that answer comes to you, you can continue to do that? To go to the next step when you end up breaking that trust? That person who is caught in a whirlwind of emotions and is almost on the verge of committing suicide, for one fraction of a second, if their consciousness comes back to them and tells them, really, is this the person you are? Are you that weak that in this moment you're going to end your life that way? Allow this fleeting challenge in your life to bring an end to this great journey that you have been having? Do you think if we are mindful to that practice in that moment, this person will go ahead and commit suicide in the very next second? These are all questions which you can ask to yourself and think, do we really know ourselves? Then what does the Gita actually tell you then? As far as God and spiritual actualization is concerned, first and foremost, God is not a distant reality. God is a consciousness, a voice, a realization, a notion, a conception that exists within us. And what is spiritual actualization? Our cognizance of that concept, that it exists within us. To identify, oh, it's nowhere else. What was I seeking? It's there within me. All the power, all the strength I need to hold myself up, it's very much there. And how do I come to terms with this consciousness? By being mindful about my actions, about my practices at every given moment of my life. Through the journeys of my life, whatever I am doing, whichever way in which the gush of emotions that constantly drive me are taking me, if in each of those seconds I'm able to, when you drive a car, think of it. The accelerator is supposed to take you gushing towards that journey. But what does the clutch do? What does the brake do? They allow you to hold on, sit tight, ration the adrenaline rush. What is it? If you think of it, the clutch of our life is the practice of mindfulness in everything that we do. The practice of trying to know who am I and how does that I, who am I, how does that I determine what I do. The moment we are able to get a holistic understanding of this, a hold on this idea and get used to practicing it, we start experiencing the presence of God. Because automatically there's a voice within you / if we choose to put it in those words, presence of God felt within. In every situation, there's a voice that tells you, do you really want to do that? Maybe you're driving a little too fast. Wait for a moment, are you this person? Do you really want to do this? Do you really want to hurt your wife and go ahead with this promiscuous relationship? Do you really want to be the brother who fails to reciprocate the needs of his brother when he is in real need? Is it really necessary? Is that malpractice at job necessary for you to rise up the ladder of progress? Does that really determine success for you in life? What are these? These are questions that allow you to be mindful about your practices on a daily basis. Now, if you think of it, does it really sound like an ancient text talking to you? Or does it sound like a self-help book, a handbook in your clutches that allows you to tread the paths of life in a much more peaceful, not hurried way? Well, that's Gita for me. That's the reason why I am so passionate about this text, because I do not feel that it is dated. I do not feel that it sits at a distance of thousands of years from where I am living today. And that's the reason precisely why I keep bringing back this text to all of you, because I want to share that passion of what an enigma this text is with all of you. Well, I hope you like this discussion. I'll continue to do this, and please, as I keep telling you, engage with me with your comments, with your questions, with your observations. Do like and subscribe the channel, spread the word, and let's keep doing this. Let's keep relishing the magic of literature. Let's keep relishing the magic of ancient Indian philosophy. So till next time, hope you all do well, and let's just quickly come back with our next video and continue with this journey. Thank you so much.